Dear Kitty, let's pretend. Let's pretend that you are the Red Queen.
Can you play chess? Now don't smile, my dear. I'm asking it seriously.
If you're no good, I'll throw you into that looking glass house. How would you like that? How would you like to live in a looking glass house, Kitty? Dear Kitty, let's just pretend there's a way of getting through it. Such beautiful things in it. It'd be easy to My goodness, what is this? Why, it's a looking glass book? Of course. Jabberwocky.
'Twas brillig in the slithy toad, said Garen Gibble in the wake. All mimsy were the burrow rogues, and the mum rats outgrave.
Beware of the Jabberwocky, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch.
Beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the Frummies Bandersnatch.
He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time maxim he sought. So rested by the tum-tum tree, and stood while he sought.
And burbled as he thought. The Jabberwocky, with eyes of flame, came wilfering through the top, and burbled as he came.
1, 2, 1, 2, and through and through. Sniggers not. Up the dead with his head, he started battling right.
This fills my head with such ideas, only I don't exactly know what they are. A path.
And hast thou slain the Jabberwocky? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O frag just stay, Callooh Calais, as he chortled with joy.
Chortle, chortle.
Let's just go down the path. I've never seen such a thing of getting in the way. Never. Oh, Tigerley, I wish you could talk.
There's anyone talking to.
And can all flowers talk?
As long as you're feeling this great deal louder. It's not manners for us to begin, you know, and I really was wondering when you'd speak. I said to myself, cookies got some sense in it, but it ain't a clever one. If only the girls spoke up a little bit more. Should be alright.
Aren't you afraid of being planted out here with no one to take care of you?
There's a tree in the middle. What else is it good for?
And what would it do if any danger came?
It says, bow wow!
That's why its branches are called ballads.
Didn't you know that? She is so stupid.
Silence, every one of you!
If you don't hold your tongues, I'll pick you.
Daisy are the worst of all. When one speaks, they all begin together. It's enough to make one a winner.
Why is it that you all could speak so nicely? I've been in many gardens before, but none of the flowers could talk.
Put your hand down there and feel the ground.
It's very hard. I don't see what that has to do with it.
Most gardens, but they're so soft, the flowers are like asleep.
I never thought of that before.
It's my opinion that you should never think at all.
I never saw anybody that was stupider.
Hold your tongues if you saw anything. You think it other than if you smell it and think no more than what's going on with than if you were a bug.
Are there any other people in the garden besides me?
There's one other that can move like you, but she's bushier than you are.
There's another little girl here in the garden? Does she come out here often?
I dare say you'll meet her soon. She's coming. I hear her footsteps thump, thump, thump along the gravel walk.
Oh, it's the Red Queen. I think I'll go and meet her.
The sea was as wet as could be, sand as dry as dry.
He did his very best to make the billows smooth and bright. And this was odd because it was the middle of the night.
Where did you come from and where are you going? Look up, speak nicely, and don't twiddle your fingers all the time.
I have lost my way.
What do you mean by your way? All the ways around here belong to me. But why did you come here at all? Curtsy while you're thinking what to say. It saves time. Open your mouth a little wider when you speak and always say, Your Majesty.
I only wanted to see what the garden was like. Your Majesty.
That's right.
I declare.
What, child?
It's marked out like a giant chessboard. There ought to be some men moving about here. And there they are. It's a giant, huge game of chess. Oh, how I do wish I could be one of them. I wouldn't mind being a pawn, though I would like to be a queen at best.
That's easily managed. You can be a white queen's pawn if you like. You're in the second square to begin with. By the time you get to the 8th, you'll be a queen. A pawn goes 2 squares in its first move, you know?
I beg your pardon?
A pawn goes 2 squares in its first move. So you'll go very quickly through the 3rd square. The 4th belongs to Tweedledee and Tweedledum. The 5th is mostly water. The 6th belongs to Humpty Dumpty, but you make no remark.
I didn't know I had to make one.
You should have said, It's extremely kind of you to tell me all of this. We'll suppose it said, The 7th is all forced. However, one of the knights will show you the way. The 8th, you will be a queen. Curtsy.
Oh.
Speak in French when you can't think of English for a thing. Turn out your toes as you walk and remember who you are. Goodbye.
Wait. She can run very fast. Must remember that I'm a pawn. Oh, how I so do want to get to the 3rd square.
Tickets, please. Now then, child, show your ticket.
Don't keep me waiting, child. It's time to go to the
I'm afraid I haven't gotten one. There wasn't a ticket booth from where I came from?
It wasn't room for one where she came from. The land there is worth £1,000 an inch.
Don't make excuses. You should have gotten one from the empty driver.
The man that drives the engine was a small one.
There's no use in speaking. I shall dream about £1,000 tonight, and no, I shall.
Going the wrong way.
So you're gonna try to actually know where she's going even if she doesn't know her name.
She has no way to take it.
You have to go carry his luggage.
She must be leaving last repair.
I'm sorry, I don't belong on this railway. I was in the forest earlier, and I'd like to go back there.
Don't worry, they'll see when you're to your turn to carry to the train stops.
It's only Brooke. We have to jump over.
Only a brook? The sea was as wet could be. The sand as dry as dry.
You cannot see a cloud because there's no cloud in the sky.
There are no birds flying overhead. There are no birds to fly.
Waxworks, you want to pay them. Waxworks weren't meant to be looked at for nothing, no how.
Contrary-wise, if you think we're alive, you ought to speak.
I'm sure I'm very sorry.
I know what you're thinking about, but it isn't so now how.
Contrary-wise, if it was so, it might be, and if it were so, it would be, but it isn't. It ain't.
That's logic.
I was thinking, which is the best way out of the woods? It's coming on very dark. Would you tell me, please?
The first thing you say is to say, how do you do?
How do you do?
How do you do?
Shake hands.
Here we go, round and over, Here we go, round and over, early in the morning. 2 times round is enough for 1 gets.
I hope you're not much tired.
No, I'll thank you very much for asking.
So much obliged.
Do you like poetry?
Some poetry. Would you tell me which way is out of the woods first?
What shall I repeat to her?
The walrus and the carpenter is the longest.
Oh.
Oysters come and walk with us.
If it's very long, would you please tell me which way is first?
Oysters come and walk with us.
tigers about here?
It's only the Red King's
Oh, come and look at him. Isn't he a lovely sight?
He's snoring very loudly.
Fit to snore his head off.
I'm afraid he'll catch a cold laying on that damp grass.
He's dreaming now. What do you think he's dreaming about?
Nobody can guess that.
Why about you?
If he left off dreaming about you, where do you suppose you'd be?
Where I am now, of course.
Not you. You'd be nowhere.
Why, you're only the sort of thing in his dream.
If that their king was to wake, you'd go out like a bang.
Just
Just
like
like
a
a
candle.
candle.
I shouldn't. And besides, if I'm only the sort of thing in his dream, what are you, I'd like to ask?
Whoa, we're all dreams. That's heavy. Ditto.
Ditto.
Ditto, ditto. You see that?
I better be getting out of here, really. It's coming on very dark.
It's getting as dark as it can.
Oh, why, that's such a great, huge cloud. Why, I do believe it's got wings.
It's the crowd.
Better. Whoa!
Am I addressing the White Queen?
Why, yes. If you call that dressing, it isn't my notion of anything at all.
If you tell me the right way to begin, I'll do as best I can.
But I don't want it done at all. I've been adjusting myself for the past 2 hours.
May I straighten your shawl for you?
I don't know what's wrong with it. I pinned it here and I pinned it there. There's just no pleasing it.
It can't be straight, you know, if you only pin it to one side. And dear, the state your hair is in.
The brush gown tangled in it, and I lost the comb yesterday.
You really should have a lady's maid.
Why, I'll take the pleasure. 2 pence a week of jam every other day.
Well, I don't want you to hire me, and I don't care for jam.
It's very good jam.
Well, I don't want any today at any rate.
You couldn't have it if you wanted to. There was jam tonight and jam yesterday, but never jam today.
It must sometimes come to jam today.
No, it can't. It's jam every other day. Today isn't any other day, you know?
I'm so sorry. It's so dreadfully confusing.
That's the effect of living backwards. It always makes me a little giddy at first.
Living backwards?
But there's one good advantage to it. That one memory works both ways.
I'm afraid it only works one way. I can't remember things before they happen.
That accounts for waiting. You understand the way things happen.
What? Are you going to predict something now, or?
I don't know. How old are you?
That's none of your business.
I'm 101 5 months in a day.
I can't believe that.
Can't you? Try again. Draw a long breath and close your eyes.
There's no use in trying. One can't believe impossible things.
Why, sometimes I believe as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. Bread and butter.
In winter when the fields are wet, I see in the sun with your delight.
In spring when woods are getting green, I'll try to tell you what I mean. In summer when the days are long, perhaps you'll understand the song.
When the autumn leaves are bound, take pen and ink and write it down.
Hi there, what is it you'd like to buy?
I don't quite know yet. I'd like to look all around me first, if you don't mind.
Well, you see, you can look in front of you, and on both sides, if you would like. But you can't look all around you unless you have eyes on the back of your head.
So many curious things.
You'll make me giddy soon if you go turning around like that. Now. What is it you would like to buy?
To buy? I'd like to buy an egg, please. How do you sell them?
5 pence for one and 2 pence for two.
So 2 are cheaper than 1.
The 5th square is mainly water.
I don't see any water.
The 6th belongs to Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty?
Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
This is the most queer shop I've ever seen. Oh! Humpty Dumpty can't be anybody else. And much like an egg he is.
It's very provoking to be called an egg. Very.
I said you looked like an egg, and some eggs are very pretty, you know.
Some people have no more sense than a baby. Don't just stand there chattering to yourself, but tell me your name and your business.
My name is Alice, but...
It's a stupid enough name. What does it mean?
Must a name have a meaning?
Of course it must. My name means the shape I am, and a very handsome shape it is too. With a name like yours, it could be any shape almost.
Why do you sit up there all alone? Aren't you afraid of falling off? This wall is very narrow.
What tremendously easy riddles you ask. Of course I don't think so. Why, if ever I did fall off, which there's no chance of, but if I did, the king has promised me with his very own mouth to...
Send all the king's horses and all the king's men.
Now I declare that's too bad. You've been listening at doors and behind trees and down chimneys, or you couldn't have known it.
I haven't indeed. It's in the book.
It's my turn to choose a subject. How old did you say you were?
Well, my
Wrong! You never mentioned your age.
My, what a beautiful belt you have there. At least a beautiful cravat. Or is that a belt? I beg your pardon?
It's the most provoking thing when a person cannot tell a cravat from a belt.
I know, it's very ignorant of me.
It's a cravat, child, and a beautiful one, as you say. It was given to me by the White King and Queen.
Was it really?
They gave it me for an unbirthday present.
What's an unbirthday present?
It's a present given to you when it isn't your birthday, of course.
I like birthday presents best.
You don't know what you're talking about. How many days are there in a year?
365.
And how many birthdays have you?
1.
And take 1 from 365. What remains?
364, of course.
And that shows you that there are 364 days to get an unbirthday present and only 1 to get a birthday present. Goodbye.
Oh. Goodbye until we meet again.
I shouldn't know you again if we did meet. You're so exactly like other people.
The face is what people generally go by.
The face is the same. It's all exactly the same. 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth under. Why, if you had 2 eyes to one side and a mouth at the top, that would be some help.
It wouldn't look nice.
Wait till you've tried. I'm waiting.
Of all the unsatisfactory people I've ever met. All the unsatisfactory.
Wait. I'm not done insulting you!
Oh, dear.
I've sent them all. Did you happen to meet any soldiers, my dear, as you came through the wood?
Yes, I did. Several thousand, I should think.
4,207. That's the exact number. I couldn't send all the horses because 2 of them wanted to came, and I haven't sent the 2 messengers either. They both gone to town. Just look along the road until you see either of them.
I see somebody coming, but he or she's coming very slowly.
Her name is Hare, and she lives on the hill. You start with, give me a ham sandwich. Another sandwich. Hay then. There's nothing like eating hay when you're faint.
I should think throwing cold water over you would be better.
I didn't say there was nothing better. I said there's nothing like it. Tell us, what happens in town?
They're at it again.
If you do such a thing again, I shall have you buttered.
Who are at it again?
Why, the lion and the unicorn, of course.
Fighting for the crown?
Yes, to be sure. And the best joke is that it's my crown all the while. Let's run and see them.
Does the one that wins get the crown?
Dear me, no. What an idea.
Do you mind? Just to stop, just to get one's breath?
Yes, I'm good enough. Only I'm not strong enough. You see, a minute goes by so fearfully quick, you might as well try and stop a banjo sandwich. How are they getting on with the play?
They're getting pretty well, but they've been downloaded 7 times.
10 minutes allowed for refreshments. You shouldn't have run him through with your horn like that.
It didn't hurt. What is this?
It's a child who only found today. It's large as life and twice as natural.
Is it alive?
It can talk.
Talk, child.
Did you know I always thought unicorns were fabulous monsters?
Well, now that we've seen each other, if you believe me, I'll believe in you. Is that a bargain?
Yes, if you'd like.
Comforts at the plum cake, old man. None of your brown bread for me.
Certainly. Quickly open the bag. No, not that.
What is this? What is it? Are you animal, vegetable, or mineral? It's a fabulous monster.
Then hand around the plum cake monster and sit down, both of you. Fair play with the cake, you know.
What a fight we might have for the crown now.
I think
I'm not sure of that. Drummed out of town again.
right in the middle of our feast.
Bread and butter. Bread and butter.
Ahoy, Jeff!
Ahoy, Chet! She's my prisoner, you know.
Yes, but then I can rescue her.
Well, we must fight for her then.
You will observe the rules of battle.
I always do. Whoa.
It was a glorious victory, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I don't want to be anybody's prisoner.
So you will. When you cross the next brook, I'll see you safe down in the wood. And then you must go back. That's the end of my move.
Thank you.
I hope you have your hair fast and tied long.
Only in the usual way.
That's hardly enough. You see, the wind is very strong here. It's as strong as Sue.
Do you have a plan from keeping it from flying off?
Not yet, but I have planned to keep it from falling off. Ah!
I'm afraid you do not have much practice in writing.
What makes you say that?
Well, normally if you have much practice, you don't fall quite as often.
Plenty of practice. Plenty of practice.
Indeed.
You only have a few yards to go, and then you'll be queen.
Right. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye. Finally, the A square at last. Oh, how glad I am to be here. But wait, what is this on my head? Wait, but how can I have got there without my knowing it? Well, this is grand. I never quite expected to be queen so soon. Please, would you tell me?
Speak when you're spoken to.
But if everyone obeyed that rule and you only spoke when you're spoken to, the other person would always wait for you to begin. And you see, no one would actually say anything.
Ridiculous. Why don't you see, child? Well, you can't be a queen till you've passed the proper examination. And the sooner we begin it, the better.
What's 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1?
I don't know. I lost count.
She can't do addition. Can she do subtraction? Take 9 from 8.
Well, 9 from 8. I can't, but
She can't do subtraction. Can you do division? Divide a loaf by a knife. What's the answer to that?
I suppose
Bread and butter, of course. Take a bone from a dog. What will remain?
the bone wouldn't remain if I took it. And the dog wouldn't remain. It would come to bite me. And I'm sure I wouldn't remain.
Wrong as usual, the dog's temper would remain.
I don't know.
What?
She's very, very weird.
Wow, thanks. Well, can you do math? Can you do sums?
She can't do sums a bit.
What? Is there anything else I can be tested on?
I don't know. I'm so sleepy.
What?
I'm sleepy too.
I think this has ever happened before. 2 queens asleep at once. Well, do wake up, please. Let's grab this. Is there like a party going on?
They fill up drink. They mix
Wine with the wool and cider with the sand, and welcome Queen Alice with 90 times 9.
You know, I had such a quantity of poetry repeated to me today.
Her White Majesty knows a lovely riddle, all in poetry, all about fishes.
Her Red Majesty is very kind to mention it.
Shall she repeat it?
Oh, it'd be such a treat. May I?
Please do.
Meanwhile, we'll drink your health. Queen Alice's health.
Alice, help, drink.
We must support you, you know.
What? But...
Bye. Wonderful meeting
Wait,
you.
Don't call
I
us,
don't
we'll
know.
call you.
Bye. See you
Did I get,
later.
like, your Instagram handle? Like... I'll stick you in the kitten, I will. Oh. Red Majesty, you shouldn't purr so loudly. You just woke me up from... It's an amazing dream. Turn to the Red Queen. Confess. Let's consider this. It could have been either my dream or someone else's dream, the Red King's dream. He was part of my dream, but I could have been a part of his dream. What do you think?